Enlightenment is the bait that hooks you into an infinite journey. The word is never used to describe a substance or a state or something that can be attained. And the quicker we realize this, I would say the quicker we realize this is to the extent of that enlightenment, so to speak. Because we think that what we're looking for is some kind of state of mind, some type of object, some type of place to be. And the real recognition is to see clearly that this is the place to be. The place you're at right now, what you're experiencing is the place to be. There's no greater place to be, there's no greater state of mind than to be completely at peace and content, no matter where you are, no matter what your circumstances are. So when we talk about enlightenment, what we're really saying is it's like a hook that takes you on an infinite path, because there's not really a start or an end to it. So it's almost like a little piece of candy that we give to the child just to lure them in to get their fillings, right? It's just this. It's like a hook for the separate self that pulls you in and makes you think, oh, there's this place I'm going to arrive at. This sounds amazing. And the Buddha's there like, yes. And it's pulling you in. But there's no place you arrive at. And people think that there is. So they get stuck looking for this object. The object never lands. The object never arrives. There's just a more deeper understanding as to what we are. And that the depth of that understanding is just infinitely deep. It's just an infinite unfolding of just understanding more and more about ourselves. And just because we recognize our true nature, it doesn't make us a good human being. It just doesn't. Just because we've recognized our true nature, just because we can talk about our true nature and we share YouTube videos, it doesn't make us a good human being. That's a fact. We have to realize that very quickly. You see, we all know of teachers, and if you don't know, I'm not going to name any names, but there are plenty of teachers out there who are talking of non-duality and enlightenment, and they're not loving, compassionate people on a personal level. They're not. You see, they haven't yet tapped into the deeper aspects of this path, which is true love and compassion. And this is where it's integrated on a human level, on an experiential level, on a level that where we share cups of tea, you see? And this is really where the path really takes off. There's no time where we have this moment and we say, oh, finally, now I'm enlightened. Do you really think you'll have that moment? Do you think you're going to say that to yourself? Do you think there's a time where I've sat there and said that? Do you think there's a time where the Buddha sat there and said that? Do you think there's a time anyone is going to sit there and say that? Of course not. Only if they've completely mistook what they're experiencing and what's going on. So there's no enlightenment. There's no one who's enlightened. There's not enough beings in order to be separate, in order for there to be an individual enlightened being. It's not true. There is a process of understanding what we are, and there is a point where we understand what we are to a point of absolute conviction. People think, and some people even suggest that you just sit there and just do nothing beyond that point. It's on the contrary. There's still a process of learning. I hate to break it to you, but there's still a process of actually integrating. It's not a process of suffering. That's true. But there's still a very deep investigative process of really learning, like, how do we interact from this point of view? What can I say in certain situations that would be most effective to imbue this love and understanding into the world? Even in the way that I choose to share online is considered not vigorously, but I do think about it, and I do think about, and I do set my intention to speak with clarity, conviction, understanding, and purely from my own experience, but also to share enthusiasm and to help people really feel that within myself. I set that intention in a way. I guess I was already doing it, but I feel like it's a it's also a mixture. I can't explain it. It's like a hook that brings us on this infinite journey. And this infinite journey, it doesn't really have a start or an end. This is what I call the startless path. The minute you start is the minute you stop. So we never truly start this path. And this is something to see, because it's like the minute we start is the minute we start being a separate self again, and we start to lose ourselves, so to speak, in the world. And even that is not really a problem. This is the thing. Some people think like, oh, one minute I was experiencing my true nature, I felt so happy causelessly, nothing else was a problem, and then I seem to lose myself. It's like, what's the big deal? Stop worrying about that. It's not an issue. Because if it was that bad of an issue, you wouldn't end up on a call speaking to me talking about it. You see what I mean? Like, if that's not enough of a sign that you can still be on so close is not, you're not really distance from it at all, but from this point of view, so close to the path, even if you seem to have fallen off it, you never really fell off it. You see? So take it easy on yourself in these moments. Don't think that you've somehow betrayed your true nature. You've betrayed your understanding. You were awakened and now you're not. You're neither awakened nor not awakened. Just leave those words aside. Just really focus on, just pretend that you never heard the word enlightenment. Pretend you never heard the word awakening. And just think, how can I know my true nature and be able to express that in the most loving, compassionate, funny, if you feel like being funny, and like enthusiastic way. Enthusiasm just means to imbue with God, to fill with God, to infuse with God into whatever you do. Even if it's the simple tasks, And I'm not suggesting that every time we wash the dishes we're singing and dancing. It just means that we're just not resisting what we're doing, and you see what I mean? So I just wanted to share this message on that, because I think a lot of people get confused. A lot of people get their attention taken away because of other new ideas and spiritual concepts. Just appreciate that there's never really this end place, but there is a point of conviction of what you are, and that conviction is what is going to remove suffering. Yeah, just wanted to share this. I hope you have a beautiful day, guys. I have a free community where I host meditations every week. So if you'd like to join that, feel free. I'd love to see you there. The link's in the description. Have a beautiful day, guys. Take care.